Good afternoon. Today, this week, Shibuka is dedicated to remembering the 1 million victims of genocide against the Tutsi that took place in 1994. On behalf of the Shibuka family, we remember and we send our prayers to all those people who lost so many at the hands of the genocide. It's important today, as it is every year, to remember the struggle of so many Rwandans who went before today's youth of Rwanda. It's the responsibility, therefore, of the youth to never forget, to remember those who sacrificed their lives for so many, and it's their responsibility now to build that brighter, more collaborative, peaceful Rwanda. Today, we're very blessed to be joined by Bonheur Pacifique, himself a remarkable young man who has been through so much in his life. He is a guide, a project manager at the Kigali Genocide Memorial. He shares with so many his story, and he's very much part of the movement in terms of encouraging people to remember about what happened and our role in society in ensuring that it never happens again. Bonheur Pacifique, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you.
You're welcome, Darrell.
It's a very poignant day for many, many people. It's a very poignant time of year for many Rwandans, both in Rwanda and around the world. And you have a remarkable story that you've come a long way. Can you tell us a bit about you and how you've become the man that you are today? What inspires you, what drives you on, and what's important to you at this time of year?
So thank you very much, Darrell, for invitation, first of all, to this platform. I'm so happy for that. So I like your introduction, by the way, the way you introduced the Kiruka 26. So like you said, my name is Pacifique Bonheur. I was born and raised and studied and worked and married in Rwanda. So my whole life is here. And I'm a survivor of the genocide against Tutsi, born in the southwest of the country. When the genocide started, I was in a family of 6 kids. I was the 5th, 3 girls and 3 boys, and a big, very good family. Yeah, we went through a lot, but I would, my story, basically, most of the times I don't dedicate it to myself. I dedicate it to the person who risked her life to save my life. So I like telling my story through her story, because in my thinking, surviving was not a choice. If someone would risk her life, it was a choice that same person has made to save your life. So that choice, I do respect it a lot, and it doesn't mean that I don't respect or pay tribute to the fact that I'm still alive. But I guess the story of a woman, Mariana, who saved me, is also it's a very inspiring story. So my story is always about women and women. My mother chose me.
Yeah,
I was the 5th in my family, and she brought me to a neighbor, Mariana, who basically take care of me for the whole almost 3 months. We if you take a couple of events or moments that happened within the 3 months, one thing I do remember is that she was poor. She was basically a woman. I say that because you know, making a decision at her home while being married in a patriarchal system where
Yes.
a man is supposed to be a lion in the house.
Yeah, yeah,
So then I paid second tribute to her.
yeah,
And she had 7 kids already
yeah.
to take care of. You know, but she wasn't being hunted to death. She was a Hutu. So so that's already one thing. So my wife, I mean, my mother takes a decision. She hands me over to another one who decides to hide me as well. I'm not gonna go through everything, but one more thing is that there's one day we went through this path to go, you know, confide me to one of the best friends of my family, who also at the same time happened to be a pastor in the church where we were born from. And she literally, he refused me, you know, and
Sure.
yeah, so yeah, and yeah, he refused me, and we walked back.
How did that make you
In
feel?
brief,
How did that make you feel?
I was a kid. I can't remember what was the feeling. I was only 6 years old, but I do remember when, one thing I do remember is on our way coming back from the pastor's house, and I was crying on the back of Mariana. And then she made this decision that probably, you know, can be debatably, I don't know, whoever wants to debate about it, but she showed me someone who was butchered, you know, laying on the road, because I was crying. So that was her own way to tell me that I should keep quiet. So I remember shifting from that normal child, you know, sensitivity to abnormality, you know, abnormality, shift, you know, and just keep quiet, and grow, you know. So briefly, we kept on going through many things that I can't tell now. So at the end of the genocide, because I ended it to my aunt's house, who was married to a Hutu husband, who also helped us a lot, and I was reunited to my father, who took his way and survived. And then after the genocide, we met again in the south of the country, in the former Butare. So we tried to look at people that would have survived, and we realized that my 5 siblings were killed: my mother, my grandparents, my aunts, my, you know, uncles, cousins. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So resumed school. My father got married again. I don't want to talk about that life after. And he died almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
But before I already had my own family as well. Now I'm a husband.
Yes. Great. And
with 2 beautiful kids.
Fantastic.
Yeah, son and daughter. Yeah. So how? It's a very difficult question.
So let's phrase it another way. What's important for you with your children now? You're married with your children. What's important for them? What do you think is important for them to remember and to look forward to? I mean, what's your role in that?
yesterday, I'm not happy for this quarantine and confinement, but
No, none of us are.
Yesterday my son looked at me in the morning and he asked me this weird question. He was like, that was in French. I don't know how to translate it in English, but he was like, Papa, pourquoi tu fais cette tête? Did you get it? He said, Papa, tu fais cette tête? It's more like, why that weird face? You know? He's 5 years old, and
he saw a different look.
Probably, yeah. And the way they were kind of taking care of me was weird. So and then in the evening, I have a friend and a colleague who just wrote a piece. He has been writing things, you know, kids' books. And he told me something very important. Claver, I really paid tribute to his work. He told me that he writes not for him, but for his kids. But I found his actual writing as well very important, and it's going to help me because I'm going to learn a lot of stuff from him as well. How to talk to my kids. I think it's very important that my kids know the truth of my history, of the history of the country, but then the approach to not traumatize them. I found Claver's approach, which is my colleague. He's my colleague, and I can always go talk to him. Very important. So, I'll figure out how to talk to my kids. Because at the end of the day, they're growing up. You know. I will have to tell them.
So articulating your message through metaphors, through storytelling, becomes an important way of sharing the story and learning those lessons that way, ways in which can be relevant to them as young children. I
think storytelling is very important in different ways. You know, you can use books, you can use audios, we have a chance right now. We still have a chance, my generation, because I don't know if I should call it a chance or not, because at some point also it's not very, very easy. So we have a couple of people who are still alive, who were grown-ups, to whom we can ask questions. I called Mariana my book. Because I can read her anytime. If I have like a sort of gap between one day to another one, or like why didn't I see your husband? You know, such things. I can always call her and ask her, and she responds to me. So I take it as an opportunity. So we have a lot of people who can answer questions for the moment. So we can get that opportunity, and without waiting, then we'll be missing such opportunities. So storytelling, I think it's a great way, and we should make that. We should, do it right now. Well, now it's the right moment.
Now's the right moment. They're still with us. They could share their stories, and we're very lucky in today's generation to have access to this technology. So you're able to share your story with us globally, online, whereas many years ago this was not possible. So, we're able to spread the word that much quicker and more authentically as well than we have been ever before. So that's something that we're, from our point of view, online provides a very collaborative way of learning and sharing and transferring knowledge and ideas and solutions. So, I mean, that's where we are today. That's one benefit that we can bring to the past is ensuring that we can utilize this technology positively and harness it.
Yeah.
So I mean, so there are, listening to your message, there will be many young Rwandan diaspora around the world who are listening to your message. And I know recently you spent some time with some young Rwandan diaspora who came to see you at the memorial from the United Kingdom, from the University of Winchester and from other parts of the country. So I know John Benama, who is very much responsible for that project, can't be with us today, but he's asked me to ask you a question, which is, given the young Rwanda youth diaspora, what do you think their role is this week going forwards in, you know, memory of the period of the genocide? What do you think their role is in this?
First of all, I don't know. If there is something that made me really unhappy, it's this COVID thing. You know, because I like hugs. You know, I like being with people.
Hugs.
That's my hobby.
We all have a hug. Yeah.
Yeah. They call me a hugger in chief. So I would have been happy to go, you know, to be at the memorial for the moment and meet my people and share quiet together and everything. But now it's impossible. But also it has been an opportunity to be at least with my kids today. But also, I think this year it's the year that I received so many messages and so many calls from cousins and friends that are living abroad.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's so interesting because the use of this technology it's helping us a lot. And I know these young people who most of them were even born from after the genocide, the period of the after the genocide, have more knowledge to use these technologies. So I think, and I know one of the things that we need nowadays is to fight the genocide ideology. I feel so crazy when I see people who don't even want to call it a genocide against the Tutsi, and this is it's insane.
Yeah,
I don't know. So these people, these young people, if they have no knowledge about it, we have recommendations of books. We have, you know,
resources and books and talks like this
everywhere.
Yeah,
we have talks like these ones. They want to know anything. You know, we're so open for them. I was so happy to meet this group of young people that you just talked about, and we have been receiving positive feedback from them. I guess we're going, because we made them meet with other young people from Rwanda, young entrepreneurs as well, and they are going to work together, you know, for some projects, which basically will, you know, to peace projects.
Yeah.
So I think they should grab this opportunity. Young people living abroad. So Rwanda, we young as well. You know, I'm 32. I'm not that old. I think it's very important for them that they know that they can shape the future of this country while being abroad. I'm not telling anybody to come back, but I'll be happy to see them coming back. But the projects that they're, you know, they want to do in the future, I think they should involve more, you know, the grabbing the opportunity of telling the world the story of their of the people who you know who lived the story they did not live. So they have those skills, they have those knowledge, if they don't have the welcome back in the country to come and experience what is happening, and then go share the message across the world.
Great message.
Yeah.
So more of these projects where young Rwanda diaspora are coming together with young Rwandans in country to share ideas, to share knowledge, to exchange views, and therefore then new ideas are created and shaped, and then those young Rwandans go back to their country with a deeper, meaningful understanding of
Exactly,
the issues, and they can therefore share their story and keep that going. That's great. It's great. Well, yes. I mean, it's a wonderful project, and we'll be very happy at Shibuka to be part of that. I think, you know, one of the things that we are focused on as Shibuka, we're a recently established registered NGO through Rwanda Governance Board, and our raison d'etre is to support the sustainable development of Made-in-Rwanda young entrepreneurs, and it's the young entrepreneurs that are going to be building Rwanda pre-COVID. During COVID, they have to hold on to their dreams, and then beyond COVID, they need to look to the future to ensure that Rwanda can keep on its remarkable growth path. So I'm just wondering, because we're working with the Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, and I have a question from its director, Pacifique, who asks you, what do you think can be the role of young business leaders, young entrepreneurs, in terms of educating people about the genocide, or in terms of their role as youth entrepreneurs?
Look, first, I think the youth are the core. They are the core of the future of any country. Like, I mean, if you don't give platforms for youth to develop the country, then what are you doing? And I'm so grateful that the government of Rwanda has been helping young people. I've seen them growing. I know many examples of young entrepreneurs, Rwandans who are growing, and it's very, very, very important for the country, because you know, we are 70%. I mean, I'm not in anymore. So
you're not in it anymore. You're just outside of it. Oh no, you're outside of it. It's about 70-80%. It's a big percentage of the population of Rwanda.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Almost 70% of 30 years and below. So so the Rwanda has made a very great move of putting young people at the core. Look, I'll give you a couple of examples. Maybe the director you talked about, we learned from them. I've seen young entrepreneurs going on the global move and represent big companies, or representing Rwanda in the Visit Rwanda movement. And the message they share is, like, for example, that Rwanda, you know, it's a country like any other country, come and visit, and it's even beautiful, right?
Absolutely.
That, and the message, the message inside that, the message is that, I'll put it together with this Shibuka, that we do remember, it's part of our life. You're not going to escape it from anywhere or anyhowly, but we shouldn't be only shaped as, you know, as the genocide country. You know, there's a lot that we can do. There's a lot that young people have been done in terms of fashion, in terms of
so you got
Motions
at Rwanda that's now taking their brand to an international stage.
I've seen him growing.
Yeah. I have as well. I had a shirt of his about 4 years ago in a tiny little, you know, workshop. He's moved on amazingly well.
And you know, so they shape the country. They shape the future of the country as well, in one way or another one. And I think it's entrepreneurship should be used as an opportunity like, for example, if I talk on behalf of survivors, I mean, I'm not going to talk on behalf of survivors, but I'm one.
Yeah.
So like you shift from the fact that you are just a survivor, but you are a human being, because you can do business, you can share ideas, you can you can be part of the growth of those ideas as well, practically. So young entrepreneurs should be so proud of that, and so feel at the core center of the future of the country, especially my country of Rwanda.
Yeah. And to not see themselves as victims of circumstance right now, even with COVID-19, but to really hold on to those dreams and that vision very tightly. His Excellency talks about the fact that Rwandans are very, you've built together through teamwork, through collaboration, you're resilient. It's about really, keeping hold of those values very close to their hearts and looking to the future with optimism.
Yeah,
as you say.
It's crazy when you look at how you just mentioned His Excellency the President. Yesterday, there's one video, probably you have seen it. I shared it on Twitter when the First Lady, she shared some tears while talking about how she feels. It's in Kinyarwanda. I don't want to misquote her, but she shared something like it's so great to see how young people who have never met or have never been raised by their parents, growing up with values, the same values that you just talked about, of the culture and the Rwandan customs and everything. But then I look back in 1995 when President Paul Kagame, he was the vice president, I think, and in chief of the staff. Yeah, when he went somewhere, I think it's in the southwest of the country, and he mentioned something very important. He says that he doesn't understand how someone kills kids who are very innocent. But then he adds immediately something like, but we should fetch a lesson from our past, from that same cruel history, and look forward, and and it's crazy, isn't it? It's that's only a couple of months after the genocide, and he's talking to the people. He knows, that these are the people who committed, living nearby the people who are the victims, and then he has the vision.
It's remarkable, isn't it? It's a remarkable philosophy. Yeah.
How, like, in my own thinking, I'm always in what I need, like how it's like what level of humanity do you have?
Yeah.
You have weapons, you have everything, in your capacity to revenge, but you don't do it. And then you jump from your own self, you go to the people, and you tell them that unity is possible, reconciliation is possible.
Yeah.
Look forward.
Yeah.
That's a couple of months after the most cruel killings that ever happened in the 20-something century.
And that's very inspiring too.
It's very inspiring, and this is one thing that I will tell also, not only us, the youth of Rwanda, but also the youth from abroad, that the values are there and the examples are there, and we were even in a better position because the way has been paved. it's just like sliding in the same way that has been paved already by these remarkable leaders.
Rwanda has remarkable leaders. Kagame is a remarkable leader for what he's achieved for Rwanda. And there are many other people that he is inspiring to become leaders as well going forwards. And even when we are not going to be on this earth, we hope that there will be other wonderful leaders who will follow in his footsteps.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. This legacy can never be just taken for granted.
Yeah.
If it's taken for granted, then we, I don't know how to call ourselves. We'll disappoint him.
Yeah.
He did a lot. We will disappoint him, absolutely.
And more than ever, we need leaders to come to the fore. Youth have the opportunity now to come to the fore to support His Excellency, particularly in these times of unprecedented uncertainty that we live in with COVID-19 around the world.
Yeah, we will. I'm very sure we will win. Yeah. The only way to win the COVID is to win together.
Yeah.
Of course, to stay at home, but we're winning. I'm very optimistic about it. Let me share you this story.
Yeah, please.
I have a friend. He's a comedian. He's a young entrepreneur as well. He's very known in this country. He's my best comedian ever in the country. He's called Kimenyi.
Oh yes, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he shared me the story when he met His Excellency for the first time. And then he was like, Your Excellency, but can I ask you a favor? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, and then he's like, I would like to have a theater, a whole theater, to perform, to be built in Kigali. Like, would you help? Would you help? You know what he told him? He said, when we were refused the, though he said something like, I don't want to misquote him, I'm sorry, but it was, have we asked for this country? Our country were refused to us when we were refugees. Then we took it, and then we grabbed it.
Yeah.
So the example was more like, grab the theater. I'm not going to give it to you. Grab it.
Grab it.
Grab it.
It's in your hands.
It's basically there. It's in your hands. It's in your heart.
Make it happen.
So you already thought about it. Yeah, you already thought about it. So then grab it.
Very good.
So tell it to the youth in whatever they are. They should grab
the opportunity. Grab what's in their hands. It's for them to make it, because
it's in your mind already.
They have it within them to do it.
Yeah.
And they have permission to do it.
Yeah.
They have permission to make a difference.
And platforms and
Yeah, no, it's a great story. And there are many other stories that we could talk about for all day, as you've said. But, Pacifique, you have been an amazing person. I'm so happy that we had this opportunity today of all days to talk. Thank you so much for your time.
It's always a great pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity as well. At least I have put my kids somewhere. And
well, you're a family man. They're very important as well. You need to look after those children. They are the future. So, Pacifique, once again, thank you very much for joining us today on the Shibuka Online platform. We're going to be doing more of these interviews over the coming weeks with entrepreneurs and experts, but we felt it was really appropriate and timely that we spoke to somebody today who's very much involved in the Shibuka movement and educating people about the future.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. By the way, you had a very nice choice of a name of the NGO, Shibuka. Shibuka,
absolutely. Well, thank you. We appreciate that, and we will keep in touch. Thanks for your time today. Much appreciated. Bye-bye.
Good. Bye.